Panasonic 3DO. Best system there is. Now, we're not here to talk about how great the 3DO is, or how well it did in sales, or how amazing the graphics are on the original Alone in the Dark. But what we are here to talk about is how not to mod the 3DO, and how I ended up messing up so many of them that now I got 5. So the 3DO, really can't tell you much about it because I have no idea. But I do have 5 of them, so, you know, that counts for something. But I'm on the forums looking for a Dreamcast USB. Now, I find my man from Kazakhstan sells the USB loader. So I go to his website, but I see that he has the 3DO USB. Now, I don't know what a 3DO is, but at that time, I had one. So I go and I'm like, let me check out these versions, and he's got 2 different ones. So I buy both of them. Now, it's not until like a week later that I realized that, you know, one version was for one version of the 3DO and the other was for one that I didn't have. So I bought another 3DO. Now, at this point in time, I got the FZ1, which is the first model, and the FZ10, which is the second model USB. Everything comes in, takes like 3 months or so from Kazakhstan, and, you know, I'm ready to get it cracking. So the FZ1, open it up, 4 screws, slap that in, and I'm like, boom, every single game. And 3DO had some adult games. Don't put that in. But for real, it did have some adult games. Sorry, you said alright, so, anyway. So, now I'm ready to get the second 3DO cracking. So I open up this envelope, and I am just flabbergasted at this little device that has like 20 wires and this black and white instruction manual of how to solder it in. Now, I don't know how to solder. The device was like $300, the unit was like $200, and I'm like, what the heck? Let's just try it. So I open that bad boy up, throw up some YouTube, and watch some how-to solder videos. 5 minutes later, I'm ready to go. So now I open up the instructions, and I'm supposed to desolder this chip that's on the board. So I do it no problem. All it is just taking the hot iron and just going to town on it. Get to the next one, and it's like, yo, we have these 20 wires, and you gotta solder each one to this microscopic solder point. I'm like, man, I got this. I've soldered all of 5 minutes. I'm ready to do it. So I go in with my soldering iron. Next thing you know, parts that were on the board are now burnt off. So I don't think that's how you solder. So I hit my man up from Kazakhstan. I was like, yo, K-Stan, what do I do from here? This dude responds with, you took off the solder points? Question mark, exclamation point? I was so defeated that I didn't even respond to that. I was like, you know what? That's okay, because I'm going to buy a second FZ10 and do it again. So I did that. Now, I get this, and I'm like, yo, I learned all my mistakes. You know, don't desolder the solder points. Makes a lot of sense. The very first thing I do is desolder the desolder point. Again. But at this point, I did a different solder point. So I was like, what the heck, I'm gonna keep going. So I fix it, and now I have all 20 wires soldered on, sort of. Go to turn the unit on, and there's no power. So I sucked it up and said, you know what? I'm gonna just keep going and respond to my man asking him where it's at. So my man from Kazakhstan tells me to go to step 4. Now, if you can't see it, step 4 says red and black thick wire solder to the USB host. Now, this is in black and white. So I see a black wire and a blacker wire on a enlarged version of the USB host. So I have no idea what it's talking about. So I take a guess, and I'm like, wait, he didn't even show me on the board where the power and the ground go. So I email him, I'm like, yo, Kazaki, You gotta let me know where these wires go. So he's like, fam, I got you. So he sends me this picture that has circles on a motherboard of where I solder. Now, my man from Kazakhstan probably doesn't get good internet, so he responds weeks later. So when I get this email, I'm like, you know what? I don't care which one is ground. I don't care which one is power. I'ma just go for it. So I do. Everything looks great. Hit the power button, and next thing you know, the unit catches on fire. I'm talking about on fire. Smoke's everywhere, and I'm just like, man, here we go again. So I go back on eBay, and I'm like, you know what? I've already messed up 2 3DOs. So there's no way in the world I'm gonna mess up a third. But since the FZ1 is so easy to mod, I'ma just buy another one of those too. So, now like 2 months later, I have 2 broken 3DOs, 1 modded 3DO, and 2 new 3DOs that are ready to be modded. But at this point in time, I'm out $1,000. I don't think I got any better at soldering. So, I just let that die. But there is hope. Because I eventually did learn how to solder. On 3 PlayStations that I also messed up. So take that, Kazakhstan. Coming for you next. For real though, all you watching this, you need to play Alone in the Dark. Some real facts for you. First system to ever have a rifle. First system to ever have a female character that came from the office wearing a green dress and red heels. First system ever to have a zombie just levitate out of a trash chute. First system ever to have a zombie. And you can literally, I mean not figuratively, literally kick a zombie in the butt till it's dead. Y'all need to play it.